You're watching Eswatini TV News at 10. I am Notile Sitole alongside Sicelo Gunene. First, here's a look at our headlining stories tonight. His Majesty King Mswati III is back in the country after concluding his working trip to the United Arab Emirates and Ethiopia. Honorable Prime Minister Wasa Dlamini has left the kingdom for Brussels to represent His Majesty King Mswati III at the third annual meeting of the Global Council for Political Renewal. The House of Assembly is calling on government to review the 20% increase of the elderly grant. And now the news in detail. His Majesty King Mswati III is back in the country after concluding his working trip. His Majesty arrived at the King Mswati III International Airport on Monday evening, accompanied by Inkosikazi Magela Mahlangu.
At King Mswati III International Airport on Monday evening, the nation welcomed His Majesty King Mswati III, who returned in the country after concluding his two-nation working trip. The king, who was accompanied by Inkosikazi Magela Mahlangu, participated in the World Government Summit in the United Arab Emirates before he proceeded to the Federal Republic of Ethiopia for the 38th African Union Summit. Umbutho Eswatini Defense Force led the nation in the singing of the national anthem, and after which His Majesty was invited to inspect the Guard of Honor. His Majesty was welcomed back by Emakhosikati, Their Royal Highnesses Bantu Benkhosi, the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers and Emabandla. Speaking at Lutsitsene Royal Residence, His Majesty said the Kingdom of Eswatini made remarkable achievements during the trip. The former Minister of Agriculture, Moses Vilakazi, landed the role of the African Union Commissioner for Agriculture, Sustainable Development and Blue Economy.
Likhona lijaha njoba besinelijaha lakithi lobeka sebendile lakithi nakubukwaye kakhulu letekulima ukhulele khona kuletindzaba telimo njoba ukhulele lapha ka eWait beka sebenza khona iminyaka wengca wayongena eParliament bamkhetha enkundleni yangakubo ukuthi akahamba ayongena abe lilunga leParliament wagcina abayindvuna wangena kulima wangena kutourism uhlehlile la ngakithi imisebenzi yakhe ibe mihle kakhulu Moses Vilakazi kwabonakala ukuthi cha nakubukwa ema commissioners njoba kuyabukwa kubukwa nangalamave ukuthi emave onke abe well represented kubukwe njoba ngibale nje east west south north eAfrica yonke lamave so lona lokuhle ukuthi ke bekuqala la kaNgwane sitholele position ya commission lokube kuhle kakhulu ukuthi ke nelive ibe khona leyo recognition ukuthi cha ikhona i-contribution lengayenda.
His Majesty says the kingdom was then elected into the African Union Peace and Security Council representing the Southern African region.
Akhona nalamanye ma structures labonale ukuthi nanawo aniketiwe ukuthi live nginga-contributor nakhona. Leye nje yaka Peace and Security Council njengoba nathi la e-Africa sine Peace and Security Council lehlala phansi ibuke lethe kuthula nekuphepha emaveni e-Africa ukuthi kuhamba kanjani ukuthi lapho kunema problems khona kuchamuke khona kube ngile structure lesi lesitawukhona ku-advisor i-African Union seyihlangene yongana ukuthi kuleya ndzawo leya babone ukuthi kunekuhlupheka lokukhona, therefore i-African Union nengathatha le position lena ukuthi lelo bandla lelo ke lale Peace and Security Council.
The Minister of Information, Communications and Technology, Savannah Mazia, hoisted the Eswatini flag sky high with her appointment as chairperson of the Global Council on Sustainable Development Goal 5. His Majesty says time has come for the African continent to tap into its rich natural resources to drive its development agenda, particularly trade and industrialization. His Majesty says the African Union Summit endorsed peace as the cornerstone for development and echoed calls for the silencing of guns in the continent as conflicts reverse years of economic progress. On the news, I am Sandile Makanya reporting from Lusitsini Royal Residence with Zwele Masugu.
The Prime Minister, His Excellency Russell Dlamini, has left the kingdom for Brussels to represent His Majesty King Mswati III during the 3rd annual meeting of the Global Council for Political Renewal. The Prime Minister left for Brussels through the King Mswati III International Airport.
Siya Brussels, even as a Belgium, siya attend umhlangano kanye ne-European Union. Sitawuhlangana naye umphathi angithi nje iParliament yase-European Union sihlelile ke ukuthi siphinde sihlangane na-President noma Chairman we-European Union Council. Ngicela kakhulu ke European Union wathi ukuthi i-EU isupporta kakhulu live la kaNgwane. Live litawukhumbula ukuthi nasenda umthetho sisekelo sasupportwa i-Commonwealth, sasupportwa namave alabamhlophe i-European Union. Isekelile futhi yakhona inhlangothi daga agriculture ikakhulu nenhlangothi daga sugar. Tawathi futhi live ukuthi nema export ethu e-beef export yashukela nayo iya-even emaveni ase-European Union nokuthi nakhona nasicala i-free primary education European Union yasisekela. Siyawuqinisa ke lobu budlelwane sikhulume nasezindzabeni letifaka i-governance ukuthi live la kaNgwane liphethwe kanjani. Sitawubahlephulela ke nokuthi nge-governance system yethu tinkundla ukuthi tisebenta kanjani ngoba sifuna bati ukuthi i-constitution yethu ithini tinkundla system tithini sibatshele ahead of time bangava sebaqoqelwa ngalokungasiko batawusina sebahlangana ngalokungasiko babe bathi ukuthi sithini thine ithini constitution ithini position yahulumende. Siyethemba ukuthi lokhu lesiyokwenda manje utawuqinisa ubudlelwano bethu nawo onke emave alabamhlophe.
The House of Assembly says the 20% increase in the elderly grant is appreciated. However, they have asked the government to review this increase. The members of parliament were speaking during the debate of the national budget.
When the House of Assembly resumed for its parliamentary duties on Tuesday, the Honourable House debated the 2025-2026 national budget tabled by the Honourable Minister of Finance, Nel Rickenback, last week. Amongst other concerns, the Honourable House, through the Honourable Speaker Jabulani Mabuza, asked that government review the increase of the elderly grant.
Ngibonge indzaba ya 20% increase kubogogo ngithi incane yona. Kepha siyakubonga nje lokho ukuthi kukhona umthosilelela abawutholile siyethemba ukuthi sicela ukuthi minister mana ayi-reviewe abukele ukuthi ngabe kungete kwendekani silo 20% uthi abungena njalo ngeminyaka nangabe nje angenile this time kule lukwanyana letako nakhona taphinza angene
induna uma iyawuthi mase ihleli phansi ibuke nje ukuthi njalo ihleli na DPM ngoba indaba lokufuna leyabogogo induna ihlalele na DPM angaphumi DPM encenye ukuthi ayiteka ngalenye indlela nabana ayiteke ngalenye indlela bayiteke mabaphuma la ukuthi kutawugcina kumanjani kule ndaba siyakudumisa kona ukuthi kukhona lokwende.
Mina nje ngiyacela ukuthi akumane kuphinze kubuyelwe emva ibuketwe lenzaba yabantu abadzala nalembasha yabo bebajabulile kakhulu nale nkulumo yenkosi nabo bayemukele kahle futhi bayijabulele noma sekuphuma le budget.
The Honorable House says the elderly also take care of their grandchildren, and the 100 Malangeni increase is appreciated but will not be enough. They says they are praying for a 40 to 50% increase. Other issues debated on the House were the allocation of micro-projects and the Luke Commission. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Swekoza with Muva Shongwe and Temba Shabangu, Parliament.
The Honourable Minister of Agriculture, Mandla Chauka, says for the upcoming financial year, the ministry will construct small and medium dams for irrigation purposes and strengthen climate-smart agricultural projects. The Honourable Minister says government has set a target of ensuring food security.
Following the presentation of the national budget by the Honourable Minister of Finance, Neil Rickenback, last week, the Eswatini TV news crew had an interview with the Honourable Minister of Agriculture, Mandla Chauka, on said project for this upcoming financial year.
Lenzaba yokuthi sende agro-processing sihambise mbili kakhulu kangoba nyalo nje kukhona lapho khona silungise ukuthi sithole ukuthi i-factory let's say produce tomato sauce even lesithi Eswatini kitchens.
The Honourable Minister says government has allocated 65 million emalangeni to the National Maize Corporation and the 2025-2026 financial year. The Honourable Minister also expressed gratitude to the Republic of China, Taiwan, for supporting the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Aquaculture Research and Production Center in Malkans. He says this initiative will significantly enhance fish production in Eswatini. The Honourable Minister further says the construction of the Mpangeni Dam Phase 1A is in progress. The Honourable Minister further says the Lucip 2 project remains a priority with an allocation of 230 million emalangeni. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Swekoza, Mbabane.
The House of Assembly says the Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology's 354 million emalangeni allocation is insufficient to fully implement the given mandate of improving the ICT sector. The Honourable Members of Parliament were speaking during the debate of the national budget.
The House of Assembly, during the debate of the 32.61 billion emalangeni national budget tabled by the Honourable Minister of Finance, they debated that the 354 million emalangeni allocated to the Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology is not enough to attain the given mandate of the Ministry of ensuring that the country develops through the use of technology.
Ngicela kusho through you, Mr. Speaker, sibonge imvune yaka-ICT imetamo lesayiyendile kule live. But nansi ngiyabuka liphakelo lalitfolile liyajabhisa Mr. Speaker, angiboni lama programs lafuna kwa roll out atawuroleka kuleli phakelo leli. Angathi minister ukuthi kukhona indlaka amkhushine khona lokuthi munengi lo msebenzi walelitiko laka ICT.
Sibhlungu kakhulu ngebudget letfolwe nge-ICT kulo msebenzi lesibonako lo wentekalako. Personally nje angijabulela ibudget ya-ICT, Mr. Speaker. Ibe yincane kani maye kuyagijinywa la. Siphila nje sibanjwe nge-ICT naloko, Mr. Speaker. So ngicela kubonga kucala uhulumende ukuthi ukhonile kufaka ema-Wi-Fi etinkundleni, etikolweni nasekuma-clinics. Siyabonga lapho, Mr. Speaker.
Digital divide. Siyabonga ICT, Mr. Speaker. Indzaba ye-Google isiyayidumisa. Sicela ke kuyibona la Amazon because the good things that are coming through ICT, and we would like to support that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, kuningi lekufuna kusho kepha nje angibonga umsa wakho. Thank you.
The Noble House of Assembly says they are hopeful that government is working on other means to help finance ICT projects. Whereas the Honorable Minister of Finance, Nurbuken in response said the Minister of ICT for the 2025-2026 financial year has no capital project and that the World Bank is working with the Ministry of ICT on quite a number of projects. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samka Siwekoza with Temba Shabangu and Smuva Shongwe, Parliament.
Following the decision by the Municipal Council of Mbabane to withdraw its services from the Mangwaneni area, some residents of the community have confronted the council, demanding the keys to the Children's Social Centre. The centre previously served as a preschool and a feeding scheme for young children in the area. The facility was closed after the municipality ceased providing services amid an ongoing dispute over whether the area falls under the jurisdiction of the Municipal Council of Mbabane or the Mangwaneni Royal Kraal.
The Municipal Council of Mbabane withdrew its services from the Mangwaneni area on the 10th of this month. This withdrawal included waste collection services and the closure of the soap kitchen, which had been providing meals and early childhood education to over 460 underprivileged children. In response, the residents of Mangwaneni confronted the municipality, demanding the keys to the soap kitchen, arguing that the children are suffering due to its closure. A meeting was held at the Municipal Council offices, and after the meeting, residents engaged with the media. The residents say they want the municipality to surrender the soap kitchen keys as children are suffering. They also state that they do not want the municipal councillor designated for Mangwaneni. Furthermore, they claim they do not even need the municipality to collect waste as they can handle it themselves or hire the municipal council for such services. As the meeting continued, journalists were not allowed inside. Grace Bembe, a resident who supports the presence of the municipality in Mangwaneni, spoke, but aggrieved residents walked out in protest against her sentiments. She stated that the Mangwaneni area was gazetted to be under municipal council.
Bayethu mangabe wamgazetha Mangwaneni kuthi abe sedolobheni kubeteke lo ngaba nemandla ngetulu kwegazethi lesayinwe mbayethe.
The mayor of Mbabane, Tulani Mkhonto, states that the soap kitchen was built by the municipality, not by the community.
Sefuna ukuthi i-council yonke ihlangane sibuke lawo ma-submissions laba wendile bese sakhona baphendule. Lokufaka ekhathini zaba yesikhiya.
He says it is painful that underprivileged children are now suffering due to the ongoing dispute between the council and Mangwaneni residents. The mayor also mentions that councillors will have to decide whether the keys should be handed over to the residents. Additionally, he asserts that the councillor for Mangwaneni, which falls under Ward 3, will not be removed from office as Ward 3 covers more than just the Mangwaneni area. At the time of compiling this report, residents were still gathered outside the entrance of the municipal offices, insisting that they will not leave without the keys. Efforts to get a response from the Ministry of Housing on the matter were unsuccessful. But in a previous interview, the Ministry's Principal Secretary, Dr. Simon Zwane, had indicated that they were working on the issue. Previously, a similar dispute resulted in the death of a person. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Mbabane.
25 small and medium enterprise holders in the leather industry have been trained on tanning skin hides in an effort to help them add value and increase their sales. The focal person livestock at the International Trade Center, Sibonanga Boskonze, says there is still a market for local businesses in the sector. The training has been conducted in collaboration with the European Union at the National Handcraft Training Center in Ezulwini.
Here we are actually training MSME, artisans, and on the leather value addition. Why are we doing this? Most of our MSMEs that are in the leather sector, we find that most of the time they go outside the country, neighboring countries, especially in South Africa, to source raw material. Yet in Eswatini, we have high quality leather that is not processed. The MSME or not, the farmers, abattoirs will just send the consignment to South Africa or sell to other business people that would actually take it to South Africa to process and then
Robert Shabangu, chairperson of the Eswatini Leathercraft Multipurpose Association, says that training was needed as most small and medium enterprise holders in this sector lacked skills for tanning. He says the industry has 46 business owners who were struggling to get animal skin hides and tanning them.
Siba nebulukhulu bekuthola imaterial lapho sikukhanza ukuthi tikhumba tethu sitilanza even labo makhelwane la South Africa sesiyakholelwa ukuthi
Appeals for assistance with finances as the small and medium enterprises in this sector lacks finances to pay for tanning chemicals. Other owners of small and medium enterprises says the tanning training opportunity was needed in the industry. They are saying that what is left now is to find the right markets.
I'm now able to understand how the leather that I always buy is produced. And now, having had this skill, I will now be able to manipulate how it's done in order for my byproducts, my end products, the laptop bags and the handbags to come out the way I would want it.
Nasingabana le-tenary yabona nje le-training le ingivule ingcondo kulokuningi kuthi tikhumba njengokuthi kuyahlatshwa lapha kwentiwa lo uyakhona lokuthi usithole lesikhumba usende lokuthi usikhiphe leboya wende konke uyakhona ukusifaka lapho usidaye.
The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade is on a drive to boost the performance of small and medium enterprises in the country, even the low-performing leather industry. Hence, such an initiative by the European Union and the International Trade Center fits well into the ministry's efforts. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Ndlangamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Ezulwini.
And now let's have a look at our financial indicators.
Standard Bank.
And moving on to sports, the 2024 to 2025 Ingwenyama Cup quarterfinals have delivered more goals than any other tournament since the competition's inception in 2015. The total goals in this year's competition is 93, with the tournament now entering the semi-finals. The following report will look at the total goals scored in each year of the competition since 2016.
The richest football competition in the land, known as Ingwenyama Cup, has a great record when it comes to the quarterfinals. Since the inception of the competition in 2016, this year's quarterfinals delivered more goals compared to other previous years. In this year's competition, a total of 13 goals were scored in the quarterfinals, with 6 being scored on Saturday at Mafuso Sports Center, while 7 were scored on Sunday at Mairuga Stadium. In the previous editions, only 9 goals were scored in 2019-2020 season, while in 2018-2019, only 6 goals were scored. In 2017-2018 season, only 9 goals were scored, while in the 2016-2017 season, 10 goals were scored, while in the previous edition, which was the first edition ever of the competition, which is the 2015-2016 season, 9 goals were scored. When looking at the total goals scored in each competition, 98 goals were scored in the first edition of 2015-2016 season. In the 2017, 108 goals were scored. In the 2018 season, 79 goals were scored, while in 2019, 96 goals were scored, followed by 83 goals in 2020. The tournament then took a break due to the COVID-19 pandemic and resumed in 2023-2024 season with a total of 90 goals. The 2016-2017 season still remains the best with a total of 180 goals, which is a record yet to be broken. For certain TV Sports, Robinson Sunera with Linda Dlamini, Babane.
Eswatini Swimming Association President Pedro Nunes says the association will start a program of monitoring swimmers from a young age to the moment they retire from the sport. Nunes says this is to ensure that they monitor and follow the progress of each swimmer.
From ball 6 and under, 7 and 8, 10 and under, we're trying to get more and more swimmers in, and hopefully by getting them involved this early and trying to keep them involved in swimming. Obviously there's some strategy changes we need to make to have them involved in swimming long term. Then we're looking in the next few years, when you're getting to about 13 to 14, 15 to 16, 5 to 8 swimmers in that specific age group, and that's what we need. Look, it's very difficult to keep the kids interested in swimming beyond that point, but I think if we can get the kids to a certain point in terms of how they perform and how well they perform in terms of top elite swimmers, then they will continue swimming beyond. What happens is if we don't develop Lama coaches they don't develop the athletes properly as well. The thing we need to do is we need to start developing the kids from a young age, get them involved and get the coaches involved in programs to take the level of swimming higher. And I think that's why you see certain swimmers remain, is because they get the opportunities to take the swimming to the next level, and that allows them to continue to be competitive.
That's all for now. Before I go, here's a reminder of our headlining stories. His Majesty King Mswati III is back in the country after concluding his working trip to the United Arab Emirates and Ethiopia. Honorable Prime Minister Wassel Dlamini has left the kingdom for Brussels to represent His Majesty King Mswati III at the 3rd annual meeting of the Global Council for Political Renewal. The House of Assembly is calling on government to review the 20% increase of the elderly grant. And with that, it's a wrap. I'll leave you now with the weather update from myself and the team. Thank you for your company. Take care.
Introducing Cousin Celeste's latest look. And these are the best part. They are limited edition.
Like me. Get Barto school shoes for only 70 Emalangeni when you spend 350 Emalangeni or more. Buy 1 kg Spar Daily Spread Tub for just $34.99. Or 2-liter Spar ice cream. Buy any two for only 110 Emalangeni.
And that's why we shop at Spar.